two other big gun issues that are coming forward this year are, one, the closing of the handgun carry permit list to outside groups. The legislation I've been working on, what it will do is say the lists are still available for checkouts and things along the lines of, say the press found a person who was a felon and they were on the handgun carry permit list. They could still reproduce that name. Or someone was arrested for an infamous crime and they found out he was a handgun carry permit holder, they would be able to reproduce that. Or say he was not a handgun carry permit holder, they would be able to reproduce that in the media. What they would not be able to do, and they would have up to 15 names at a time that they could reproduce. What they would not be able to do is do a mass reproduction of every name in the list and just say, here's every person who's a handgun carry permit holder in your town or your area or the whole state. That would not be allowed. And that allows them the constitutional freedoms to find the information out for police forces and people to be able to use the lists without closing it up completely, but it would still keep the list more or less confined to a short list of people who wouldn't be out there for mass reproduction. The other bill you're probably going to hear a little bit about is guns and allowing guns, or what kind of protections we're going to put in our schools to protect against mass shooters like we've had really across the country. Legislation I'm pushing for allows one of three options. The first option is, if you have an SRO, a safety officer in the school protecting the children, that's fine. The schools need to do no more than that. If they refuse to have a safety officer, don't want to pay for a safety officer, then they have to take responsibility for the people in their care. Say financial responsibility and responsibility for, just in case, in their safety. So if they can do that, and they choose to make that step, they can do that. No guns are necessarily allowed. They can still ban guns on their campus. But if they refuse to have a safety officer, and they refuse to take responsibility for the people's safety and their care, then we should allow those people the ability, the freedom to have a gun if they so choose. And if they've gone through the handgun carry permit class, the background checks, the training, the coursework, as well as have gone through the SRO, the same training that a safety officer has gone through by their own choice, at their own expense, then they should be allowed to carry a gun. Not that they have to carry a gun, not that we're mandating that they do anything, say a bad situation were to happen, but at least allow them the freedom to carry a gun if they so choose. I think those will be the two of the three big issues on guns that we'll be seeing this year.